Hi there, folks. Charlie Gipple, the owner of CG Financial Group, your independent marketing organization for annuities, life, and long-term care. Talking to the advisors out there that maybe just don't feel really smooth in their client meetings, don't really feel like it's coming natural. What are maybe some tips that I have as I look back over my career and think, meeting with Charlie Gipple as a financial advisor 25 years ago was a lot like going to the dentist for my clients, right? I had my script, and I stuck to the script. That was a monologue. It was probably boring. And yeah, I was smart, I've always been, past tense, I was smart, right? But it was a monologue. It was boring. It was painful for clients to listen to me. Plus, I was 23 years old, trying to talk to 65-year-olds on what to do with their $2 million in retirement. It just didn't work very well. Versus today, to where I feel great in my client meetings. It goes smooth and the client meetings are successful. I'll do millions of dollars in production, annuities, life, long-term care, as well as securities on my personal production side. And I don't even market that side of the house. That's just kind of on accident because my independent marketing organization, that's where I spend my time running this organization that's going to do $150 million in annuities, life, long-term care, with a good chunk of that $150 million coming from me doing joint Zoom calls with agents and their clients. So my point here is I do probably 15 to 20 client meetings a week. Some of them my own personal production, a ton of them in partnership with the agents to where I help the agents help their clients, right? So with that, what do I think what is the shift in mindset and structure with my meetings that has made my meetings become pretty darn successful, at least I think? 5 different bullet points here. Number 1 is the meetings are no longer a monologue. They're no longer a presentation. I don't even go into meetings anymore with an agenda. Granted, I have points on my paper. Obviously, after I've analyzed their financial situation, there are points on my paper that I need to get out, right? That's the point of the meeting. But in short, the meetings are a conversation. They're a conversation. They are me getting to know them more and more. And these are exciting. These are fun meetings. They're fun for me. And I don't think I've met a client within the last few years that would say, man, that meeting was horrible with Charlie. Granted, sometimes personalities don't mesh, but they're fun because it's a conversation. It's not a monologue. It's not a presentation. It is me getting to know them. Usually I'll start the meeting with, hey, I've kind of devised some recommendations that I have here for you. What I would do if I were in your position. I'll tell the clients this, what I would do if I were in your position. And by the way, that's the lens that I look at everything through here as a fiduciary. Heck, even if I'm not a fiduciary, that's the lens that you should look at it through, right? If you were in their shoes with their situation, what would you do with your money? So I'll tell them, so here's what I would do with my money. And I want to share with you some things here that I put together. Now, before we get started, as I'll say, I'll ask, do you have any dying questions, comments, concerns before we get started with the meeting? Now, if they have comments, questions, concerns, completely unrelated to an agenda or a script that I had otherwise put together, how crazy would that be? How would I navigate that meeting if I were locked into this structured format, but yet they want to take like Mike Tyson said, right? Everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Well, I want them to maybe take me different directions because that is a conversation that they are obviously very interested in because that topic came from them. So a lot of times the conversation happens naturally, but then, of course, by the end of that meeting, I would have covered all of the bullet points of recommendations that I have in there. Who was it? One politician said, who has any, when he looked at the reporters, he would say, who has questions for the answers that I already have? It's kind of like that. So, Henry Kissinger, somebody would ask him a question, and he would already have something that he wants to get out, but he would find a way to massage the answer to that question where the only logical answer to that question was what he had already prepared. And that's kind of what I'm talking about here, a conversation to where over that conversation, you embed in the recommendations that you have. So no agenda, you have points you want to cover. And if I were in your shoes, here is what I would do. So number 2, you check in occasionally. Without you checking in and saying, does that make sense? Or I'm fully cognizant that I tend to say, right, a lot. That's kind of a check-in. And I need not say it so much, but that's kind of a check-in. But does that make sense in meetings? Sometimes is crucial because that's a check-in for the clients, or having them answer a dumb question that you already know the answer to. I want you to enjoy your retirement, but I don't want you to over-enjoy your retirement, because what happens when we over-enjoy our retirement, Mrs. Client? We run out of money. Yeah, so I want you to enjoy your retirement, but just don't run out of money, right? So what are the calculations? What is it that I can provide for you in this meeting? And that's what we're going to talk about. So check-ins are important. Number 3, know your shit. Know your shit, right? If you're going to have this dynamic of a conversation, number 1, you always know your product. Don't even talk about the product if you do not know the product, but also know other stuff. And this is where a good marketing organization can help you. Do you know taxes? If the client throws out there and says, I saw this big, beautiful bill thing and we have a ton of money. Does that mean that we're going to be subject to estate taxes? Would you know how to have that conversation with a client? Or, oh yeah, we have a revocable trust with this attorney. Is there anything else that we should do from an estate planning standpoint? And no, you're not an elder law attorney or you're not an attorney, but do you have the ability to have that conversation? Well, so a revocable trust, because you want to avoid probate, right? Do you also have a pour over will? Do you also maybe have a durable power of attorney, right? Can you have those conversations, right? And a lot of this comes with just age, being older, like me, a bald dude. I had hair when I got started, right? A lot of that comes with age and wisdom. But know your stuff. Certainly know your stuff around the product. If they throw a question out there about what it is that you're recommending, specifically what it is that you're recommending, and you don't know the answer to that, don't guess. Say, I'll look into that. But nothing is better than having an answer to their question, right? Number 4, plans work. So financial plans. So I have retirement income planning software that is my favorite. I can share it with you if you send me a message saying, what is that? eMoney, Money Guide Pro. When you are talking about a structured plan where they have a printout, where there is data and science that backs that, a couple things happen. Number 1 is credibility. And number 2, the most successful advisors when it comes to gathering all of the client's assets, which it's not about the advisor. I'm not just saying, oh, you can get all their assets. It's also many times better for the client, because when it's under one roof, there's not miscommunication and stuff. Getting all the assets can be better for everybody. How can you do that? When you have a retirement plan, or whatever the plan is, embedded in some sort of software that you can share with them, it builds credibility, yes, but you will also more than likely get more in sales. So that's number 4. And number 5, walk away if it's not right. Nobody will ever disrespect me in a meeting and have me stick around. There are very few sales on planet Earth at this stage in my career, very few sales on planet Earth that will completely change my well-being, right? So there is nobody that can disrespect me. Granted, they can have objections. I hope they have objections. Objections are good. Objections are an opportunity for you to further solidify your recommendation, right? I love objections. But if they're rude, if they're disrespectful, you got to walk away. And that's more than just an ego thing. Well, I showed him or I showed her. It's also a mindset thing. When you have the mindset that there is no sale that will completely change your life, you run your practice completely differently. And people feel that, they feel the success, and you'll prosper. Remember to give me a thumbs up and like this video if you like this video. And subscribe, by the way.